It's just work. We're trying not to take it too seriously.
But really, it is your career and you need to take ownership of it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Career Diaries for 6. And congratulations on the first half of the year.
Yay!
We we made it. We definitely made it. Battered, but we're here.
Yes, you can say that again.
Yeah, so welcome back. We have concluded our previous series on rejection proof in your career.
Yeah.
And today we're launching a new series called 2025 So Far.
Yep.
2025 so far. You know, it seems like we started the year just a couple of days ago, but it's been 6 months.
I can't even believe it. Like, the way the year flies
Wild.
by is wild.
Wild.
Guys, it's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, but we're here. So
Mhm.
welcome to H2. Welcome to July. And so the new series for now is 2025 so far.
Yep.
And today we have some questions just helping us sort of reflect on H1, reflect on what we did in H1, not necessarily how well or how poorly, but just helping us assess how we lived H1, right? And hopefully these questions also help you analyze and assess your H1, which of course, when properly done, you're able to position better for H2.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Dekemz. You want me to go? Okay. Like Dekemz said, we have a couple of questions, and what we're going to be doing first is answering these questions honestly. While we're doing our own like H1 review, but of course we're going to pose the questions for you also. You can also just take the time to reflect and all of that, and hopefully it helps you as well in helping you plan better for the rest of the 6 months. So my first question here is, what were your top 3 big wins from the first half of the year? You want to go first, or I should go first? You go first.
Okay, top 3 big wins. Number 1 is launching this podcast.
Yes, that will be number 1 on my list too.
For sure. We had talked about it for a while. We kept pushing out the start date, and in February,
I think it was February 6th was when we launched our first episode. I think
remembers the day, the minutes.
Wait, let me not jinx it. Let me just be sure now.
But yeah, in February we started. I think that's a big win for me personally.
Definitely.
Stepping outside of my comfort zone, getting behind or in front of the camera, and just like talking about our experience and hopefully helping people.
Yeah.
The second win I would say is in my lecturing gig. Earlier this year for the winter semester, which runs through till March or something, I got very good reviews from my students.
Professor Kemi!
Puff for a reason.
I think I got all of those reviews like, oh, Professor Kemi, thank you so much.
Big Dekemz, not the little one. I'll say very good positive reviews.
Nice.
And I think that just really encourages me that all the time put into practicing, my notes and my lectures and whatever, that I'm able to impart knowledge and impact lives. I'll say that's a big win. The third win for me would be, career-wise, just I would say I've gotten good exposure compared to last year. Last year I felt like I was in a season of drought throughout. It was like, I'm not going to get into the details, but I would say in H1 I've gotten very, very decent exposure career-wise.
Nice.
In terms of just having opportunities to talk about what it is I do, and just opportunities, visibility. I've had decent visibility, and I'm thankful for that. I think it's a win. It might not have materialized per se to results that I want, But just the visibility and exposure is something I think is a win, and I'm really thankful for.
That's amazing, Dekemz. So
How
not so
about you?
bad, not so
Not too
bad.
bad, not too shabby.
Okay, that's awesome. I think for me, definitely the podcast tops the chart.
Mhm.
Yeah, the podcast, and I think we're like over 100 subscribers now.
121 to be
121
precise.
as of the day like we recorded this podcast, so definitely that's a huge win, because I didn't even think we'll go past 100 as like in, I don't know, by this time of the year. So
Yeah.
thank you all for subscribing. It really means a lot to us. I think the second thing I'll probably talk about would be so I stepped into a new role. I don't know if I talked about it at all in any of our previous episodes, but I did step into a new role in at the beginning of the year. So that I'll say was definitely another very big win.
Big girl occupying a big role, not your mate.
So yeah, stepping into that role, and then also like at the time I stepped into the role was also tied to when we had to have a major project at work. Even though it's cyclical, but it's a big piece. Like it's a really big piece. Like, oh my god, everything that leads up to that is always a big deal. But the fact that just wrapped up that project and it was successful.
Wow.
In fact, I had my director just literally say that, well done, you did your first round of this, and really it went very well.
Congrats.
Thank you, Dekemz. Like, honestly, I'm so grateful to God for that. Like, that went well. So that'll be definitely a second thing. I'll probably say what tops that chart.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think now. Also at work, I do volunteer in a Black Professionals Network, and there are a couple of series of programs. I think we also talked about it at some point, that we launched a mentoring program. That also started at the beginning of the year, and the results and the feedback from that has been great. From this cohort, it's been just fantastic. And even though the program wraps up pretty soon, but I'm so glad that we're able to do that. And I also got an opportunity still within the network to I'll say maybe be a keynote speaker at an immigrant workshop that we had for newly landed immigrants, and that was back in April. And that was really great. Like, people were really, I remember the comments on I should have even taken a screenshot. I did not. But the comments on the chat and everything, like, oh my word, like, Bukola, I can resonate with your story. It's so nice hearing your story. And like, it was just humbling. It was so humbling. So I think the work I do in our Black Professionals Network at Deloitte, I'll say it's a big win, because it's really something that I love.
What's that thing they do?
Okay, pause. Too much talk. Okay.
No.
Okay.
So apparently Gen Zs, instead of clapping, they go,
oh really? Okay.
Told you she's a boomer.
I know. I knew you were going to say that.
I told you she's a boomer.
Okay. We take the next question.
Sure. So the next sort of big question that we're answering, and obviously would like you to answer as well in assessing your H1, would be, what were the biggest challenges and what did you learn?
Am I taking that? I should answer that. Okay, biggest challenges. Okay. One is, I started this year on a very high note. I was very strict on my diet, salad here, doing this, I had a meal plan. I was, working out steady and everything. I don't even know when I fell off the bandwagon.
You never know.
But I fell off. I didn't even fall off. I rode like this. I rode off the bus on the bandwagon.
Humpty Dumpty type of fall.
Point is that, guys, I'm still here and I've still not shed that weight.
Have you added though?
I've not added, which is
That's good. That's a win, actually.
Wait, I still have not added, but I have not lost, which is, I don't know, is a bummer. But what I've learned is, what did I learn from that mistake actually? I don't think I've learned anything. Dekemz, I've not learned anything.
Weight loss is hard.
I swear, I've not learned anything. How about you? Guys, I'm keeping this real here. We don't.
No sugarcoating. A big challenge for me this year has been maintaining a disposition of joy. Growing up, no one tells you how difficult adulthood is. No one tells you, how life is not a bed of roses. You hear it, but you don't really understand what it is.
True.
Um, and I think a challenge for me is just like not necessarily maintaining a high, but just staying in a place of joy and positivity and not allowing the negativity around seeping. There's so much going on in the world. There is all this tariff nonsense. There are wars and rumors of wars. In Nigeria, we had the massacre in Benue.
That was
In your personal life, you're not always going to have sunny days. And I saw something recently, something about, I forget, but just saying it's easy to slip into sadness. What is hard is remaining joyful.
Sure.
Right? And so for me, that has been like something I've been working toward in H1. And it's been a challenge, like not slipping into complacency and just lukewarmness. I'll put it that way. But remaining joyful, remaining positive, is something that I've just sort of struggled with myself and a few of my friends. We have been like career-wise, we have sort of been struggling. Not obviously not going to mention any of my friends' names, but it's just been a period of questioning. And so I'll say that's a challenge I've faced, but of course just trying to remain positive and joyful, and above all trusting in God's master plan.
Well, thanks for sharing, Dekemz. And yeah, I do feel many people can relate with that, like for sure. This year has just come with I was saying, I saw something on the news, like I think it was on Instagram. Someone just said like millennials, the things we've experienced in this our own generation. Like now, it is it COVID, a pandemic? Is it that something about the
recession? 2008
yes, recession. It was the pandemic, and then now a potential maybe hit World War III or something. But really, we've experienced everything. And really maintain that state of joy. Oh my God, you have to be extremely intentional.
Yes.
Extremely. Wow, thanks for sharing. Okay, so I think the last question we have here, well, not last question, but the last one we're going to be probably answering, because we have a couple more questions that will probably, we'll put out on the screen as well, so you can also just use that like a full, for a full review, so it can gives you more things to think about and reflect on. So what unfinished business should you complete in the first half of Q3? And Q3 meaning by September? Yeah?
Q3,
by September.
Yeah,
by
so
September.
July to September.
Yeah.
For me, unfinished business would be, I'd really like to get more lecturing gigs. I really do enjoy lecturing. So I would say in Q2, I deprioritized it. But it's something that I enjoy doing. So I want to reprioritize, lecturing, maybe getting more courses, having a larger class. That's an unfinished business that by September I would like to have picked up. Another unfinished business would be we have had good wins. We have had good wins that we're grateful for. But I would say something that we really need to double down on in Q3 would be growing this channel. We have our 9 to 5. We're grateful for it, but we think that this channel has a lot of potential, and we haven't even remotely tapped into it. So would like to really double down, tap into the potential that this channel has, reach more people, grow our followership, listenership on different channels. We really want to dedicate time into like the strategic planning for that growth. So that's a big thing that I would say is a shared unfinished business that we want to achieve in Q3. And just like personally would be, spiritually just growing. There was a habit I picked up in Q1 this year. I dropped it like hot plantain in Q2.
I love the
Oh, I dropped it like it was disturbing me, right? But I want to pick it back up. It was
Oh my God.
it is midnight prayers.
Oh, okay.
In Q1 I was consistent, and somehow in Q2 I just fell into this, what, bruh, no be me kill Jesus. but I know how good I felt every night after praying. I know how unstoppable I felt. I know how much in alignment with God I felt. So I have to pick that up in Q3 and continue that habit.
Amazing, Dekemz. For me, it will be not that even about to say, I'm like, Kola, are you really
Weight loss?
Thinking half of Q3. But we will do it.
We'll try.
I met someone who lives very close to me. I digress a bit, but she's also on that same trajectory. And we're like, okay, we're giving ourselves a target that July 1st we're starting. We're going to take our works more seriously. Blah blah blah. So yeah. So hopefully, I'll come back and tell you what happens by September. You will see it. Exactly. So definitely that's one of that. Secondly, for me would be I want to learn more about I'll say Canada employment law, particularly Ontario, the province where I live. And for me, just there's no pressure for me to know it. I just feel like it's some knowledge I want to, I'll say, acquire.
Yeah.
So I do want to, work on that. So, but maybe that's not really a project for September now. It's probably more like towards it before the end of the year. So I'm trying to. I'm hoping I can take an exam on the employment law just to test myself and really get that knowledge and all of that. So yeah, we'll be to do that certification. I think that's what I want to do, at least. Not Q3 though, but Q3 maybe started working towards it. But by the end of the year, I'm hoping that I would have accomplished that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's something because I know Bukola hates certifications. She doesn't think much of them. So
actually don't.
So this unfinished business and goal is coming to me as a surprise. But well done. More grace to your elbow.
Thank you.
Obviously, we are like twins, so I most likely will be tagging along.
Exactly.
But yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Okay, so like Bukola said, there are a few other questions that we will share with you, basically to help you analyze and evaluate your your H1, and spur you along, I guess, to do better and to be a better version of yourself in H2.
Yeah.
Again, congrats on getting here.
Yes.
The year hasn't been easy.
No, it hasn't. No.
But you are here with or without battle scars. You are here. You're doing the best you can. Taking one day at a time.
Yeah.
Rising above despondency and despair, and being who you are. So so we're going to be sharing the questions with you. Hopefully you're able to answer those questions truthfully and position yourself to have better wins in H2.
Until next time, please like, watch, subscribe, share with your friends, and let us know what has been your biggest win in H1 so far. We'd really love to hear from you.
We will.
Take care.
Bye.